Hello, I'm back again, and I've been buying stuff off of GearBest once more. What's this then? This is it. What is it? Well, it is what GearBest are calling the portable 8-in-1 mini hollow universal socket repairing tool. But I prefer to call it the tomato multi-tool. Looks like one, doesn't it? Looks like a slightly flattened tomato with some sockets pushed in. So what does it do exactly then? Well, it's got a range of different size sockets around the outside of it, including this little 1/4-inch drive thing, which you can get a standard screwdriver bit into. You can use like a screwdriver as well. Before we go any further, let's take a closer look at this, shall we? Okay, so here it is then. We've got all these numbers around the outside of it, and they represent the size of the sockets. Here we have a 17mm or 11/16. I'll explain a bit more about this shortly. And so we've got this range of sockets, and you can actually see through, right through the thing, because it's actually just a large casting. Apparently it's made from chrome vanadium stainless, and it's just one casting. You can see right the way through it, look. And it is then has a hard plastic layer moulded around that, as you can see. And then on top of that we've got a nice soft rubber handle, as it were, rubber covering as well, and it's quite a nice soft, it's nice to get hold of actually. And so you've got all these different sizes. These are the splined sockets here. Again, I shall explain about those in a moment or two. We've got various sizes of them, and that 1/4-inch for your screwdriver bits to go in. It's quite a useful little tool actually. Okay then, so what is so special about these sockets, these splined sockets here? How come they can be 16mm and 5/8 at the same time? Well, let's just take a look at a standard socket first. Okay, so here is a standard 21mm socket. This one is 1/2-inch square drive, but if you check in the top here, you can see it's like hex shape. Some of them are just sort of like they have even less faces in, and they're probably a better socket for driving, because this one could probably slip off or maybe round the nut maybe. But then yeah, as you can see, it is 21mm socket here. Look, let me just compare this with a 21mm from this set. Where is it? Here's a 21mm. Take it off and have a closer look at it. And once again, this has 21mm written on it, and as you can see, it's splined in there. So look at the difference together. Look, see the difference? Splines. Okay, this enables these spline sockets to be able to drive just about any size of nut and bolt you wish, not just 21mm. As I say, 21mm is what? Oh no, I don't know. 16mm is 5/8 of an inch. I don't know what size this is in imperial. I suppose I could have a look. I'll pop it on the screen here for you. But anyway, yeah, so you can see these are designed to drive just about anything, and I've got a nice set of these, as you can see, and this is what the tomato multi-tool has got in it. Look. Okay guys, I was just about to film another scene for this tool here when I heard Mrs. Rathbone shouting from downstairs. So I rushed off down there, and what she's done is managed to blow up her clothes iron again. I'll say again. She's done it before in the past, had one blow up on her. It's a long while ago now. But yeah, take a look at these two pictures here. The first one doesn't show you much, but the second one you can actually see where the one of the leads has worn through, and it went pop, and you can actually smell it quite badly down in the sitting room. Anyway, back to the tool in question. It's the tomato multi-tool. So yeah, so if you don't particularly want, unlike myself, I mean, I've got, as you can see, loads of sockets down. There's a couple of socket sets and that other socket set there. This one here. So I keep a goodly amount of tools about the house. But if you're not inclined to do so, but you need a tool every now and again for doing little odd jobs about the place, then this thing could really come in handy. And it's quite comfortable to hold as well with this rubber finish. It's quite nice to use. So what we'll do is we'll shoot down into the workshop and give it a bit of a workout, shall we, guys? You can come along as well if you want. Okay, so here we are down in the workshop with a few bits and pieces. Let's see what we can do with the tomato multi-tool, shall we? Now, as I mentioned earlier on, it will actually take standard 4-inch drive screwdriver bits, and they are held in, as you can see, with a magnet. It'll take the little short ones, but I've got a set of these longer power driver ones for screwdrivers and drills and what have you, and it will take those too, so it gives you a little bit further reach. And I think that's what we'll start with. We'll start with the screwdriver capability of this fellow, shall we? So here we have our old friend, the block of wood, and I've got 3 largish screws here. We've got 1 posi and 2 slotted screws. What we'll do is we'll start with the smaller of the 2 slot-headed screws. We'll see if we can find a hopefully slotted driver bit to go with it, or flat driver bit to go with it. Look, this one will fit quite nicely, I think you'll find. Yeah, that's a good fit. Okay, right. What we'll do is we'll load that into the tomato multi-tool, thusly. It's interesting, got a little bit of a, what's it like with a standard driver bit? Yeah, a little bit. Right, we'll just see how that goes. It's a bit loose, but we'll see how it works. Where's my, over here somewhere hopefully. There we go. This little fellow, so we can make a hole. Just there. Right. We'll pop the screw in, give it a turn. And we'll have at it with the tomato multi-tool, shall we, guys? Can you see that? Yep. Right. It's going in quite nicely too. Hang on, let's just alter the camera a little bit. Right. And you can actually see I'm using the tomato multi-tool, and there's no cheating going on. It's actually quite comfortable to use. It's driving that one in very nicely. It's a funny shape, but it's just doing the job quite well, to be honest with you. Even this looseness in the driver, the 1/4-inch hole here, it's not causing me too much problem. It's beginning to tighten up now. It's going in there nicely, look. Yeah, very easily. Right. That's gone in. Has it screwed it to the bench? No. This longer screw, because it will actually go right way through the wood, I'm going to screw it in this way. So I'll make a little hole just here. It looks fairly hard just there. Oh, yeah. So we get that out, get the screw in there. The tomato multi-tool. Get it started. Again, there's no cheating here, guys. Hang on. Let's do it. There we go. You can see the tool's actually being used to drive it in. This is a longish screw, is this one? Quite a long screw. It's got to be about 2.5–3 inches long. Oh yeah, it's tightening up now. Blimey! God. I wonder if I should have got a bigger hang on. I'm going to do the rest of the driving with this slightly wider bit here. It'll fit in the head of the screw better. But it's getting very tight here. Blimey! God. Seriously tight. It's still going, guys. Let's have a look here. Well, it feels a bit loose, but it's not doing any damage to the tool, I don't believe. God, flipping heck, yeah. That's some serious tightening up here. But there's a good thing about this tomato multi-tool is you can get a really good grip of it. As you can see, look. It's going in there an absolute treat at the moment. Tight as it is still going, doing a good job, and it's not that little bit of extra looseness there's not really causing me any problems at all. In it goes. God. Yep. Blimey. Seriously tight. I'm getting quite hot doing this, guys. God, I think I'll call it a day there. Phew. I don't think we've caused any damage to the head of the screw, which is good. Well, I mean, this is not this part is not on test here, so we can put that to one side. Put it back in this little container. Let's have a look inside the. Well, I can't see any damage. Let's have a look inside here, shall we, guys? Well, the lighting in the workshop's not helping really, but I can't see any damage inside there. Certainly doesn't appear to have rounded off at all, does it? It's not bad. You can see the magnet down the bottom there. I can't see any damage. Right, let's see what she can do with this. Well, this is a Phillips bit, but it's a poly drive screw. It's a bit battered because we've used it before. Let's make a hole just about here then, shall we? There we go. The screw's escaped, but we soon captured it again. Oops. Alright. I think we might could have had a bit bigger screwdriver bit, but it's doing alright actually. It's very easy to use, this thing is. It's very comfortable. You know, I think as Mrs. Rathbone says about it, if you had arthritis or a weak grip of any description, this thing would be quite good for working with, because it's so big and fat and rubbery as well. But there we go. Oh, look at that, guys. Another success for the tomato multi-tool then. Okay guys, so what else can we do with the tomato multi-tool then? Well, I've got a bag of nuts and bolts here, so let's have a look what we can do, see what we can find amongst that lot, shall we? Tip them out and we'll have a look. Well, I've got some various size of nuts and bolts here, including this massive, great big, I think this is an M10. It's the biggest one I've got at the moment. The biggest one I had was this here, and now I've got this massive, great big one. I think this is an M8. So what will it take down to, do you suppose? Let's have a look. There's an 8mm socket here. Let's have a look, something a bit smaller. There we go. It'll take this little M4, I think this is here. So how about we start with an M4? Alright, pop him in. Tighten it up. There we go, that's the M4 in there. So we're going to need the 8mm socket here then. Let's pop it over. See what we can achieve with it. Right, there we go. Now that is quite easy to tighten up. There's quite a bit of torque on there, perhaps too much. As you can see, look, nice and tight. How about getting it off? There we go. So there was quite a bit of torque going on in there. Let's try that again so you guys can see again. Keep an eye on the vice, see if the vice moves. Will it move? Yep. So there we go. That's the M4. Sticking an M5 now. That's slightly bigger, so we can move up from the 8mm we had previously to the 10mm this time. Pop him on, and there we go, he's on. See, again, tightening it up nice and tightly. This is very comfortable to use, very easy to use. There we go, loosens it as well. Look. So it's exceedingly easy to use. It's good and tight. Pop the 10mm back on again, and there we go, it's loosened again. So it's a really nice, comfortable tool to use. You can get quite an amount of torque and leverage because of its size. If you did need any more leverage, you can always stick a screwdriver through the hole. Let's have a look. Get that tightened up again. So you can stick a screwdriver through the hole like that, making it very easy. Get some extra torque going. Not that you should be doing it up that tight, but if it's really tight, a screwdriver will do it for you. A little bit of extra leverage in there. No damage to the hole either. Look. Alright, so that's the M5 then. What about something a bit bigger? Let's try this M6. Not an M13, an M6. There we go. That's quite a largish nut and bolt, as you can see. So this time we're going to need the 13mm socket. Pop him on. Look, there he goes, he's on. And again, it's quite easy to get some torque going onto it and get him off again. So just put him on, tighten him up. Obviously with a bigger nut and bolt you're going to require a bit more tightening up, but there we go, it is tight. No damage to the socket, good. And there we go, get him off. Oh, it's fell out of the vice, look. But we did it. So that's the M6 out of the way then. We'll move up to the M8 if you like. Right, time to move up to this monstrous great big nut and bolt here. Pop it in the vise, make sure it's going to stay nice and tight there. Tighten him up. Don't want him falling out, but as you can see, be nice and loose. Take it down. I think we're going to need what we're going to need here. No, we're going to need a 17mm. Look, 17mm going on there quite nicely, guys. And again, a nice amount of tightening going on. Right, and can we get it undone again? God blimey, I've done that up tight. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you can actually apply quite an amount of torque with this thing. It's really comfortable to hold and really comfortable to use, to be honest with you. Even on the bigger, the larger nuts and bolts like this. So if you've got some largish furniture to assemble, but you don't fancy a set of sockets kicking about your house, one of these things is quite handy. Oh, hang on. I think it's coming loose in the vise again. That's what's happened, yeah. I've done it up that tight. There we go. It's only a little vise, guys. Right, 17. Try again. There we go, we're off. Loose. So it's really a nice bit of tool to use. I like it. I like it a lot. So there we go, guys. A surprisingly versatile little tool is this. I'm quite pleased with it actually. What we'll have to do is we'll get it back into the studio in a moment or two and just check, see if there's any damage occurred to the sockets, but I don't believe there is, because I think this is quite a well made bit of kit, but we'll have a look in a minute or two. Anyway, there is one other thing we can actually do with the Tomato multi-tool. Get yourself a nut and bolt, pop it through the central hole like so, put the nut back on, not tight though, we don't want it tight, just leave it like that so there's a little bit of slack in there, and then guess what? Fidget spinner! Awesome! really versatile then. Okay then guys, so here we are back in the studio again. Let's take a closer look at these sockets, see if we've done any damage to them. We'll start with the 1/4 inch screwdriver adapter here, because that was the loosest tool here, wasn't it? As you remember, it was flopping about like nobody's business, but I can't see any damage occurring in there at all. Not really. Let's move on to the sockets then. What have we got on here? Nothing of note on there, which is good. That's the 13mm. I've got the 11mm here. We used that one too, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think we used it. No damage on that one. 16mm. Same again, no damage there. No, once again, no damage. What we moved on to here then, this is the 14mm. Can't see any damage to that one either. What's that in there? Nope. $17mm, we used the big one, didn't we? No damage either, so that's really good. That's a good sign, I like that. No cracks, bending, damage occurred to anything then. Fantastic. Well, that's a really good result with this little tool then. I'm quite pleased with it actually. If you require something to do nuts and bolts at home but don't want a socket set, if you've got a few of these 1/4 inch drive screwdriver bits here, they will fit in quite nicely too. So if you've got some of those, basically you've got yourself a nice little toolkit going here. You can do nuts and bolts and all sorts. So you know, assembling your furniture won't be a problem anymore, and it fits in your hand rather nicely too. It's quite heavy. I wonder how much it weighs. I've not done that yet. Alright, let's start in grams then, shall we? 183 grams, or 6.5 ounces in total. Just in case any of you are interested in the dimensions of this thing, you're looking at 61mm in diameter and 32mm wide here, and that's by my measurement, guys. Now I would say this is a really useful piece of kit to have around the home. As I say, if you can get yourself a set of screwdriver bits, it will replace a range of screwdrivers, you know, so you don't need a load of screwdrivers about the house. You just need this and this. You just pop out the bits as you want them. In they go. Brilliant. Look at that. Of course, the other thing you can do with it, if you've got access to a socket adapter like this one, this is a little 1/4 inch square socket adapter, you can pop that in there, and then you get yourself a little set of sockets like these fellows here. Get on there, right in. You can also drive some really small nuts and bolts using the socket. If one of these sockets here won't fit, you know, there we go. You can drive some really small little nuts and bolts as well. So there you go, guys. An unusual and very versatile little tool. I like this. I like this a lot. What I'll do is I'll put you an affiliate link to it down below. Maybe if I can find a set of like these screwdriver bits, if I can find one of them on GearBest, I'll put you a link to those as well. Although you might be able to pick a setup like this from your local tool stall on the market or your tool shop in town, possibly. But maybe I can find you some on GearBest. If I can, you'll find it in the link below, next underneath this one here. That's okay then, guys. So as I say, very useful, very versatile, very interesting. I love it. What do you guys think? It's brilliant. You know, you don't need a set of sockets at all, this little fellow. And it's got this nice rubber coating around the outside. It makes it really nice to get a hold of. It's very comfortable to use. It's brilliant. I love it. Recommend it, guys. Recommend it. If you don't want a load of sockets about your house, this is fantastic. As I say, I purchased this one from GearBest, and I'll leave you an affiliate link in the descriptive text below, so you can pop along and get yours. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the review, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That would help me no end, because I'm hoping to reach 1,000 subscribers soon. Won't be long now. How many have I got? Around about 930 something, I think, today, which is good. You can click like. That would help the channel too. You can share it with your friends, because let's face it, I mean, how many of you guys have seen this thing before? I hadn't until I found it on GearBest. It's brilliant. I like it a lot. It's really useful if you don't want a load of sockets about your house. It's just fantastic. And for the older people as well, if you still doing a bit of DIY, guys, you've got probably a little bit of arthritis, this thing is really comfortable to hold, and you don't need much of a grip to turn nuts and bolts with it, so I found down in the workshop. Alright guys, you can also follow me on Instagram too. Those of you who do will have already seen this and been thinking, what on earth's that? Well, this is it, and this is how useful it is. There's also my Patreon page if you wish to help the channel in that way. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching this review. I think this is brilliant. I like it a lot. Fantastic. You know, you can drive metric or imperial nuts with it, and anything else you can get in there, really. Whatever you can get in here, you can drive. It's brilliant. Alright then guys, thanks for watching, thanks for all your support, and I'm off to mess about with this down in the workshop some more. See you later guys.
Rathbone.